What is up? Welcome to another edition of SacTown Movie Buffs. Once again, I'm Kier, and this is Jason, and today we are back reviewing a not so new film. You saw it in theaters?
Yeah, back in December, I think.
Okay, yeah, I saw it when it was released on video or something, or DVD, I guess I should say, or streaming, not DVD, streaming. I saw it streaming. I don't remember. I can't remember even why I saw it. Because
you rent movies on Blu-ray? I thought I was the only person in America that still gets DVDs and Blu-rays from Netflix.
I do not do that anymore. I did at one point when they first only had the Blu-ray disc at home service. I did that, but I sadly have abandoned that a long time ago. So probably at least 5-6 years ago since I've actually rented something in the mail. I mean, I was still using a Redbox for a little bit, but I haven't even rented from a Redbox in probably 3 or 4 years. Honestly, so
can't get everything streaming. That's all I'm saying.
You can't get everything streaming, but I've seen pretty much everything I wanted to see. So, I mean, for this year or whatever. I know there's some rare underground movies, that sort of stuff, but there is another movie we're going to be reviewing that I was kind of surprised I was actually able to find streaming, because it was so hard. But that'll be on a next show. Another topic for another day. But the film that we're referring to is actually going to be Spencer, which is a big Oscar nominated film. Is it not? It's nominated for Best Picture, I believe, right?
I'm not.
Or Best
Actress? I'm not as on top of the Oscars as I once was. So I know it was nominated for Best Actress. I did catch
maybe it was Best Actress. I don't know if I can't remember if it was Best Picture, but I did know that it picked up an Oscar nod for sure. So which definitely deserves nomination for Best Actress, I would say. So
yeah.
Cool. Well, I say without further ado, I say we get right into it. Jason, I believe you're going to take this one away.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So Spencer is it's about Princess Diana. I will say I hesitate to call it a bioflick because it's not really a bioflick. Yeah. And I want to say I really like movies that are structured this way, that tell the story about a real person, but it's not like the cliched
beginning and beginning. Their life is whatever they're doing. It's usually singers they usually do this about, I feel like. Usually there's a beginning and they're having some troubles, then they make it big, then it all comes crashing down because they get hooked on heroin, about in the third act, and then there's the redemption at the end. That's pretty much the storyline of almost every biopic that I've seen. I would say probably 95% of the biopics follow that same storyline. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I thought that Walk Hard kind of killed that, because Walk Hard, I think, is such a brilliant parody of that bioflick structure, specifically Ray and Walk the Line, which are the same movie basically. And I thought that had killed that format, but then that Aretha Franklin movie came out last year that I have not seen. But just from watching the trailers, I bet it's the same exact.
I'm sure of it.
She was born here. This is her, her early life, and then success, and then failure and tragedy, and So I don't mean to sound like callous or whatever, but we've seen that movie 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So I like movies like this, and I think Selma is another one. Which Selma was a story about Martin Luther King, which was also a very constricted time frame of only a few weeks, I think.
Right. Yeah.
And to me, that's much more interesting to take a real life person and take this one very crucial chunk of their life and really go into depth, rather than the cliched born, adolescence, initial success, crashing down, that whole thing. Yeah.
Right. I totally agree.
Yeah. So anyway, this takes place, I forget the year exactly, but it takes place over about 3 days, like a Christmas holiday, 1 year. An agonizing Christmas holiday, basically, with Princess Diana staying with the royal family, which, I'm not a Princess Diana expert. I'm not I'm not English. I'm not a royal family expert. But to me, this did a pretty good job of making vivid some of the things that we've heard about what it must be like to be part of the whether it's Meghan Markle or
like I said, I'm not gonna say what's right or what's wrong. 'Cause I know there are a lot of people that just love the queen, and that's
Yeah.
all fine and good. But there's enough that has come out between this and between what we've been hearing about, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry,
Yeah.
to at least open your eyes to maybe things aren't as rosy as you think as it seems inside the royal family. So
Yeah. Yeah. So just to kind of cut to the chase, I really like this movie. I really like this movie. I knew right, when I saw the trailer, I thought the trailer like that looks like my kind of movie. Again, it's a bioflick within a constricted time frame, and it does such a good job of like the first like I was like I really love like I can't remember if it's like the first half hour or so, but it's like I think almost anybody can identify with having to go to someone else's family function that you just don't want to go to.
yeah,
And it's like she's trying to do everything she can to delay getting there. And then when she's there, it's like this really great like sequence. Again, it's been a couple months, but it's like she's like going like she's like a room behind the rest of the family for like the whole first half of the movie. It's like she's there, but she's doing everything she can to just be kind of like not there,
right,
kind of like she's going to this room and you can tell they've just been there and left already. And then she's moving on to another room where they've been but they've left already. So just trying everything she can to like not interact with anybody. And
right.
I think most of us can identify with having to stay, especially like in this case, she's having to stay with this family that she doesn't want to be with at all for 3 days. And, without, I haven't been in that exact situation, but we've all been at family functions that we didn't want to be at.
Oh, for sure. I
Somebody
mean, yeah. I
else's
mean,
family.
there's always, oh, you have to go, then you go and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you're just like dreading it. And you're, doing everything you can to like,
Yeah. Be
let's
there,
speed
but
this
not be
up
there.
so I can get out of here. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Or like go outside. Now it'd be like go outside, be on your phone for like an hour or
Yeah.
something like that. Just
Well,
to be
I
there.
got a call real quick. Let me.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I'm not a Princess Di expert at all, but from what the little bit of reading up I did about this movie, like it's fairly accurate, even the part that seems like movie stuff, the part that like within view of where she was staying was her old family house that was falling into disrepair. And that seems like, oh, that's movie stuff. You know what I mean? That's too convenient that's too like drama, that's like screenplay metaphor, but that was actually true. I mean,
Yeah.
she was like right next to her old family house, which was falling apart, while she was having to be like this kind of fake embodiment of what she was expected to do, and like play along with all these ridiculous constraints and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So, again, not a royal family expert, not a Princess Di expert, but I thought it was a really good movie. And I also like the fact, of course, I'm a horror movie fan. This movie always seems like a half step away from almost turning into a horror film, which I really liked, especially like that first part. It's almost like a ghost story where she's going from one room to the other, where there's like evidence of people being there, but they're not there anymore. I don't
Right.
know. It to me, it felt like it was about to turn into a horror movie any second a lot of the time, because there's so much tension. And that's another thing. I remember like the atmosphere and the mansion that it's shot in and the music. It's all like just tension. And I love tension in movies, because I love thrillers and horror films. But to me, like the atmosphere was so great, the acting was great, the music was great. It maybe ran a little bit long, my attention kind of waned a little bit toward the end, but I thought the ending was great. And I'm a big Kristen Stewart fan. I've always have been. I don't like the Twilight movies, but I've been a big fan of hers ever since Panic Room. She was the little girl in Panic Room. She was really good there. So I think she's great in this movie. Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's been a couple months since I saw it. I can't remember why I gave it only 4 out of 5. But I really liked it. And the director also made a movie about Jackie O with Natalie Portman called Jackie. That was kind of another unconventional biopic. Not really a biopic, but I wasn't as crazy about that one. Again, it's been a few years since I saw it, but that one, for whatever reason, it's also very unconventional, not your standard bioflick, but for whatever reason, that movie didn't pull me in where this one did.
Got it.
So yeah, I really liked it. What do you think?
Yeah, I liked it. It's not, biopics I mean, it's still a biopic. I just never have been. There are very few that I really love. And a lot of times, like I said, the person that they're doing it on isn't around to give their opinion. I mean, of course, this one is more favorable to her, of course. So I don't know if the royal family would have some objections and say that some things weren't accurate or whatever case may
Probably.
be. So, I mean, I'm sure they would have. I'm sure she wasn't the perfect person either, and even in the film, you see
Oh yeah.
some glimpses of some things that she did that maybe wasn't. Um, I don't want to say immature, but definitely, well, I guess I would say immature in some cases. And it is a very short time period. Like you said, it's only 3 days. I mean, you do get enough to figure out kind of what she was going through, just in those 3 days. But it's a really short time capsule. I mean, I liked it for what it was. I didn't necessarily love it. I wasn't like completely moved by it. And I felt like it was really long. I don't know what the runtime on it is. I have to look it up, but I definitely know that, somewhere towards the latter part of the film, I was kind of ready for the wrap it up because it's all set pretty much in one location, just in that house. And so, I don't know, it was like, I got it. You know what I mean? I felt like after watching it for, an hour and a half and it's still going, I'm like, okay, we get it. You know what I mean? Her life was not fun being this royal princess. It wasn't all, it wasn't a Cinderella story. You know what I mean? I was like, I get it, but they just kept going and kept going and kept going. And then every scene, it was like something else that she didn't like or something else that she was upset about. So it just kind of waned on me a little bit. So by the end, I wasn't as moved by it. I enjoyed it like in the beginning, but the longer it went on, the more it was like more of the same. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, how else is the royal family being so mean to her? You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I felt like by the end of it, So that kind of turned me off a little bit on it. So
Yeah.
Because it was like, okay, let's just show this film of this, person that's just been treated so miserably, by this royal family. She's had to, endure all this stuff and, which is fine. I get that, but when it's, I don't know, 2.5, maybe longer. I don't remember how long it is, but whatever.
I think it's just about 2 hours.
Yeah, maybe a little
1
over 2
hour,
hours.
57 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it just felt long though. It felt long to me.
Yeah. I can go along with that. Yeah.
Yeah. It felt like a long film. Maybe it wasn't over 2 hours or whatever, but it just felt like a long film to me. And I think part of it was because it's in such a 3-day time period. And it's mostly just her alone a lot of times, just, oh, I don't want to, complaining about the outfit that you're not wanting to wear the outfit that they've chosen for her, or not wanting to wear the pearl necklace that they want her to wear, or not wanting to. And it just, the more it went on, the more it just kind of waned on me. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. You don't want to be there. You know what I mean? So like her performance is good. The film itself, I just felt like it just went a little long with just that. I almost think it was a hindrance. I mean, I know you like that it's set just in those 3 days, but I feel like it was kind of a hindrance because it was only set in those 3 days by the end of it. I felt like, the beginning is really good, but then it's like it kind of, I felt like it needed a little something different versus just, because, I'm watching it and, I came away. She comes across as kind of like a spoiled brat a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe that's the intention. That's the way I came away with it. Like, you're complaining, and maybe you aren't treated the best or whatever case may be, but you still have all the money in the world. There's still a lot of. I mean, I'm sure that there are millions of women that would look at that and say, "I'll trade places with her in a heartbeat." You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, look at what I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? Like, so, because everybody has family members or in-laws or whatever case may be that you don't necessarily, always get along with or always want, like we said in the beginning, there's always some function you have to go to that you don't want to go. Well, that's everybody. Everybody in the world has to go do something that they don't want to do because they don't necessarily like the people or the company that they're going to be with, but you do it. this case, she just happens to be in the royal family and is uber rich, and and their family's uber rich, and it's all pristine and proper and whatever case may be. Which was fine for, like I said, for the first hour or so, but it just waned on me towards the end. That's all.
Yeah, I will admit that it feels like it's spinning its wheels a little bit at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just my take. So
yeah.
But not to completely thrash the film or knock it, because I didn't dislike it. It just, there were definitely some issues I had with it. So it's not one that I'll personally revisit. It's not my speed. So it's not one that I would personally revisit per se, though. So, well, anything else you want to add about Spencer?
No,
I just ragged on it. No, okay, cool. Well, what is the overall grade and face you would give this one?
Well, I kind of already said I give it a strong 4 out of 5,
right?
B plus. And it is something that I would revisit. In fact, I noticed that it's on Hulu now, so I could watch it for free now if I wanted to, which I might. But yeah, I liked it. 4 out of 5. So, I dug it.
Yeah, I teetered on this one, whether I was going to give it like a 2.5 or a 3. I ended up settling on a 3 because I did like some aspects of it. It's kind of weighted a little lower than the 3 that I probably gave the previous film, but I'll still give it a 3. So I did give it 3 stars, just, because the acting was good. I thought she did a great job on it. It's not my cup of tea for a film. So it's like one of those quality 3s that I usually give, that I like to throw out, where it's just like, it's a 3 because of the performances, not so much because I had such a fun time watching the film, and it's one that I'll revisit or anything. So,
I remember once upon a time, you the first time you watched it, you gave American History X a quality 3. And now it's one of your favorite movies. So this might be one of your favorite movies.
I don't think this is going to be the same thing.
I know.
And I don't think anybody's opposed to not liking a film initially and then watching again and liking it the second time around, or whatever case may be. I would say that happens to me more. It's more rare that that's going to happen to me versus, I would say, you. Because you'll will yourself to watch something again, that you didn't like the first time, and you'll give like a host of excuses why you'll need to watch it again. So,
it doesn't always happen.
I mean, it's always like, oh, I was real tired that night, so I just got to watch it again, man, because, I was tired. I didn't fall asleep on it, but I was just tired. So, this one, just because of the story of it, I know this won't be one that I was
just teasing, man.
Yeah, so, but American History X would be an anomaly, and there are other films that are like that where I maybe didn't love it the first time around. So, but American History X is a different kind of film also, because it's like one that takes a minute to wrap your head around, because it's it does a lot of like racist stuff. So it's like one of those films that, that one, it does take you a while to wrap your head around it. So for sure. Cool. Well, let us know down in the comments. Have you seen Spencer? Did you like it? Did you not like it? As always, if you like the channel, we ask that you like, subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification, and we'll be back again with another show for you guys again real soon. We thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. Bye.